I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. I am kneeling in a kiddie pool full of green jello, cold and slushy between my toes. My heart pounds and I am shaking with exhaustion and nerves and adrenaline. It's the end of summer, golden and green. There are a couple dozen of us here in a backyard in the Old North End, and we've been invited to take tomatoes from the garden while we enjoy the event we've all been eagerly anticipating. The second annual Queer Jello Wrestling Competition. I stare into the eyes of my opponent, Ho Dirt, a farmer, tall and strong, caramel eyes, gentle power rippling. Everything outside the kiddie pool sounds both muffled and whisper sharp at the same time. I can't believe I am doing this. I have lived much of my life not fully in my body, casually dissecting it in the mirror for individual parts since the age of 10, floating outside of it when touched since 14, quietly believing what the world reinforced, that my body is not strong and it's not really for me. I have lived much of my life seeing only some of the full picture of who I might become, who I've always been, until now. Mom, do you want to go for a walk? It's surreal to imagine that just hours ago I was in the kiddie pool with Ho Dirt. Now I'm at my parents' house. The last time I was here was almost a year ago with my ex-husband to deliver the news of our divorce. I have been leaping with a full-throated yes toward all the parts of myself I couldn't see before, meaning I have become a person my parents don't understand. Lately, they speak from their fears, which leaves me feeling invisible and suffocated until I retreat into silence and distance to protect my heart. But my heart aches from the distance, too. I know they love me. I know they don't realize how I sink when they call me little girl. 2 words that once described me, but I'm neither of those things now. Now, when those words leave their lips, they become another brick in the wall between us. I fear that soon there won't be any empty space through which we might see each other. My mom seems so small these days. She is made of paper, so I hold my breath. I wonder how much time there is left. Tonight is our chance to talk, to listen, to help her see me. We close the door behind ourselves and step out into the cool summer evening. My heart pounds out of my chest for the second time today. If we're going to try, it has to be tonight. I can't believe I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm doing this. But here I am, in floral bike shorts, in the jello, in my body, in a way that is new and rooted. Still, a familiar fear rises to try and choke me. Do I belong? I can feel the yes inside. I can hear it shouting, but I don't trust myself. I have lived much of my life in the shadow of other people's perceptions. Am I queer enough to be here? Before the yes can claw its way outward, my mind drowns it with doubts. You were obsessed with the attention of men through your teens and 20s. You had so many opportunities to explore your gender and sexuality. Why did it take so long? You were married to a straight man until just this year. These thoughts threaten to overpower my knowing, and they start to sound like sense. Someone else is probably thinking these things about me. My parents certainly are, and they're probably right. I shouldn't be here. I want to shrink away. I'm not even strong anyway. But then Someone in sparkly gold underwear, beneath a referee-striped mini dress, with a Jeff the Ref name tag, starts counting down. The round is about to start, and there is no time to think or worry or be anywhere but here, with Hodert in the ooze. 3, 2, 1, fight! We leap towards each other, sending a spray of green jello arcing outward. Hodert is strong, clearly knows what they are doing. We've both made it to the semifinals, and it's best 2 out of 3 for who will advance to the finals and have a shot at becoming this year's champion. Hodert pins me. I struggle, I wriggle, I flail my legs, but it's no use. I cannot bring my shoulders up out of the jello, and Jeff the Ref counts to 3. I lose the first round. We retreat to the sides of the kiddie pool to catch our breath. I am surprised to see that Hodert is also gasping for air. They are stronger than me, but I am putting up a good fight. Do I belong? I have an outdated picture of myself in my head. Timid, submissive, uncertain. I am seeing myself in new ways, but sometimes the fog of old expectations slips me into uncertainty. I find myself staring into the mirror, searching in my eyes until the haze clears and relief blooms. There you are. There you are. Will it always be a struggle? I wonder what a caterpillar feels as they shed their skin down to the chrysalis, digesting themselves inside that protective casing, liquefying everything they're made of into caterpillar soup. Do they know what they're about to become? Some quiet part of them does, at least. During this metamorphosis, only one group of cells remains intact. These cells are, amazingly, called imaginal discs. Ever since the larva stage, the caterpillar has carried these dormant imaginal discs with them. Inside the chrysalis, the cells can sense that it is their time. They send a whisper out into the transitional soup. You are ready. You have worked hard. Now all of your imagining can bloom. The imaginal discs hold the codes for the butterfly's new wings and delicate butterfly organs. When the butterfly emerges, they look dazzlingly different than their caterpillar self. All that they have been melts away, but also what they were always going to become has always been there. Inside the chrysalis of the kiddie pool, Hodert and I finally catch our breath. Jeff the Ref kneels down and asks if we're ready for round 2. I am definitely not ready, but there's no way around it. If I lose this round, I'm out of the competition. Hodert smiles encouragingly at me. Jeff the Ref gives their dress a twirl, and then 3, 2, 1, fight! I am exhausted, but I feel a surge of adrenaline. I am slippery and twisty. Hodert almost pins me, but I wriggle away. I trap their thigh and try to grab an arm so I can flip them onto their back. I lose my grip, and I almost slip in the jello. We pull apart, assessing each other, breathing heavy. The crowd is quiet, holding their breath. I don't know how I can do this, but I am stronger than I think. I grit my teeth. We clash into each other. We grunt and gasp and flail, and the crowd cheers. Hodert pins me. I struggle. Jeff the Ref starts counting. I try. I put everything I have left into escaping out from under them, and then, finally, the round is over. I lose. Hodert is going on to the finals, and I am done. We hug and marvel at each other. A friend hoses the jello off us. I spend the rest of the competition cheering and shouting from the sidelines with my friends, my community. We are a spectrum of easy nakedness, a spectrum of bodies, all radiant, rooted, celebrating each other. I feel free. I put my ear to my own chest and listen for the familiar roaring fear of not belonging, but all I can hear is joy. I wrap that joy around myself, pull it into my skin, new armor against the misunderstandings of others. No, not armor. Something porous, something fluid, something that cannot be pierced or discarded. What do I mean? What is this feeling? I can tell that it doesn't come from the outside. It is a new feeling, but it is mine, always right there, replenishing itself. I don't need anybody else in order to touch it, be held by it, melt into it. What is this feeling? Oh, it's pride. This is what it feels like. I am strangely giddy at the simplicity of this revelation. I close my eyes and breathe it in, willing myself to remember this feeling. I know I will need it again, very soon. My muscles still ache from the rounds with hoe dirt as my mom and I walk down the dark, quiet street. She stumbles on the sidewalk and we link arms. My fingernails are stained green from the Jell-O. I wonder if she will notice. My courage threatens to leave me. No, it has to be now. Mom, did you ever read that article about gender-neutral pronouns that I sent you? I've been trying to get my parents to read this article, which points out that the English language is already set up to use they, them for a singular person of an undefined gender. We do it all the time. Here's an example. Let's say you find a pair of glasses on a table in a library. You bring them to a librarian. You would likely say, someone left their glasses on the table. I was hoping this would make sense to my parents, especially my mom. She was a librarian at an elementary school for 10 years. She also wears glasses. I brace myself for disappointment. I read it today. You did? I imagine my mom reading the article exactly during my face-off with hoe dirt. I imagine our power reaching her, softening something in her. What did you think? It was interesting. Still hard for me to wrap my head around. I know, Mom. It would be so easy for the conversation to end here. I'm scared to tell her that she's hurt me. I'm scared it will hurt her, make her defensive, close us off even further. But what if I could trust that she loves me enough to really hear me? And that because I love her, I owe it to her to be honest and open. If we're going to try, it has to be right now. I'd like to break the wall between us for a moment. The fourth wall, I mean, yes. So I can really talk to you in this room right now. I wonder if there might be one person who would be willing to, come up here and read what's on this card out loud. This is what I said to my mom next. All you have to do is come here, read it to me, and then you can go back to your seat, and that's it. I know it's not what you expected and it's vulnerable, but is there one person who might be willing? Yes, I saw your hand. Thank you. Yeah, vulnerable. Okay, so I've been wondering what it was like for my mom. Oh yeah, is that good? Great. You can get nice and close to the microphone too, it loves it. Okay. I've been wondering what it was like for my mom to hear me say this. I don't remember my exact words, but this is pretty close. So whenever you're ready, you can read it to me, and I will listen, okay? Take your time, sweetie.
I know my life doesn't look the way you thought it would. I know I haven't called or visited much lately.
You're busy, you have a busy life. Go on, sorry.
I've been staying away because you hurt me. And I know you love me. But I can't tell if you want to understand me.
I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I would really love to understand. She gives me space. You can keep that. She gives me space, and so I try to describe it to her. How I've always daydreamed about my queerness, how it's been like the sun, always present, making my world turn, but I never looked directly at it. How I sank into resentment and despair inside my marriage because I was raised to believe that marriage means one person forever, and so I had missed my chance to discover my edges and depths. How my then husband and I carved out our own definition of marriage instead. How polyamory brought us closer to each other and to ourselves. How we love each other still through divorce. How we now call each other brother. How we found our way to a love without expectations. How I cast off the container of she that I was placed in that does not fit me anymore. How I feel myself expand in the glorious in-betweenness. I fumble over my words, but I am trying, and she is listening. And for the first time, I don't omit anything for fear of her not understanding. And instead, I just trust that maybe she is capable of more than I thought. We walk. She tells me how proud of me she is. She shares her own worries, the pressure of being the oldest one in her family left alive, how she feels inadequate. We validate each other. Our walk ends up taking 3 hours. We eat ice cream, we run into a gas station to pee, giggling and breathless like teenagers, like neither one of us is the mother. My mom tells me things about herself she has never shared before. Or maybe I just haven't been listening. We find a bench and we keep talking, neither one of us ready to be confined under a roof. We throw our laughter and tears and honesty up at the sky, at the stars, at the sliver of moon. It is a difficult, joyous joint demolition. We tear at the wall between us until there is space for us both to see each other more clearly. What if we never had that conversation? There were butterfly stickers on the window of the hospital room where she died 2 months later. I have a sudden need to leave nothing unsaid. What if we never had that conversation? Maybe we can all close our eyes for a moment. Imagine you are in a meadow and it stretches out forever. It's sunny, the end of summer, golden and green, flowers all around and tall grasses. You are still your caterpillar self, inching your way toward that place built from the yes you've been dreaming of. You don't know why you have to get there exactly, but this moment is about trusting, not understanding. You are about to let it all go. It is hard, slow work to let go of what you've been, what you thought you knew. You are in the soup and you are letting it all go. When you emerge, you are dazzling. You always have been. And each flower is someone you love. You greet each other bravely. The last time I saw you, you were a caterpillar, says the sunflower. The last time I saw you, your petals hid behind spines, you say. How beautiful we are. How wide open, you both say. We open our eyes. Now all of our imagining can bloom.
All right. Words or phrases that stood out to you?
Joyous demolition.
Joyous demolition.
Now all our imagining can bloom.
Now all our imagining can bloom.
The container of she.
The container of she. Imaginal discs.
Butterflies on the window.
Butterflies on the window.
Oh,
Ho
dirt.
dirt. Jeff the ref.
Little girl.
Little girl.
Green jello.
Green jello.
Under the confines.
Under the confines of a roof.
My body.
In my body.
The slush.
The slush. Artists, if you want to join me when you're ready.